Episode 3, The Web of Lies, extended version. Episode 3, The Web of Lies. The video on my laptop screen was the ultimate weapon. It clearly showed Julian forcing our heavily medicated father to sign that fake will. And worse, it showed him slipping those fatal white pills into his water glass. My hands shook as I closed the laptop in that dingy motel room. My first instinct was to run straight to the police station. But I stopped myself. Julian wasn't just a regular criminal. He was the golden child. He now controlled my father's entire $1.5 million estate. He had the financial power to hire the most ruthless, expensive defense attorneys in the city. If I rushed in with just a video file, his legal team would easily tear my case apart. They would claim the footage was an AI deepfake created by a jealous, disinherited brother. They would argue that the video was tampered with to extort money from the rightful heir. I needed more than just a video. I needed cold, hard, undeniable medical and forensic evidence. I needed to trap Julian so completely that no amount of money could save him. The next morning, I made a strategic decision. I decided to play dead. I went back to the family house to collect the last of my personal belongings. Julian was standing in the living room, sipping expensive scotch, already looking at remodeling catalogs. My mother was sitting on the couch, smiling at him like he was a saint. I looked at Julian, forced a look of defeat onto my face, and let my shoulders drop. "You win, Julian," I said, my voice intentionally breaking. "I'm not going to fight the will. I have no money, no lawyer, and no strength left. I just want my peace." Julian let out a loud, mocking laugh that echoed through the house. "I'm glad you finally accepted your place, Elias," he sneered, looking down his nose at me. "You were always a loser, and you always will be. Now, get out of my sight before I have the security guard throw you into the street." I walked away, hiding the burning anger inside my chest. By pretending to surrender, I bought myself the most valuable asset, time. Julian became arrogant and careless. Believing he had won the perfect crime, he immediately put our family home up for sale on the luxury market, desperate to flip it into cash. Meanwhile, I went to work in the shadows, launching my own private investigation. I scheduled a private, urgent meeting with Dr. Sanders, the cardiologist who had treated my father at the hospital. We met at a quiet, dimly lit diner on the edge of the city. I pulled out my laptop and showed Dr. Sanders the hidden camera footage of that fateful night. As the doctor watched Julian drop the white pills into the glass, his face went completely pale. "My gosh," Dr. Sanders whispered, his hands trembling as he stared at the screen. "Those aren't the blood pressure medications I prescribed for your father. Those look exactly like highly potent beta blockers meant for advanced heart failure patients." "What happens if someone in my father's condition takes them?" I asked, leaning in closer. "Combined with his heavy sedatives, it would cause a sudden, catastrophic drop in blood pressure," Dr. Sanders explained, his voice filled with horror. "It would mimic a natural cardiac arrest perfectly. No medical examiner would question it unless they ran a specific advanced toxicology screen." "Can we run that screen now?" I asked. Dr. Sanders nodded grimly. "The hospital still holds your father's pre-cremation blood samples in the pathology lab for legal compliance. As his primary physician, I can order an official, confidential forensic toxicology test based on suspected foul play." But as we dug deeper into the hospital records over the next 48 hours, we discovered a dark trail of medical corruption. Dr. Sanders noticed that the high-potency beta blockers had been checked out of the pharmacy under a fake patient ID. The digital log showed it was accessed by a specific nurse on the night shift named Brenda Higgins. I didn't wait for the police. I tracked Nurse Brenda down at her apartment after her shift ended. When I showed her a screenshot of the hospital log and a clip of the video, she completely broke down in tears. She confessed that Julian had approached her weeks ago, offering her $50,000 in cash to steal the medication and alter the night shift security logs. She handed me a hidden paper trail receipts of the cash deposits Julian had made directly into her secret bank account. I had everything now. The video, the financial audit, the hospital logs, and a signed confession from the accomplice. Instead of going to the local police where Julian might have connections, I took the evidence straight to the district attorney's office and the State Bureau of Investigation. They were disgusted by the cruelty of the crime and immediately prepared a massive trap. The day of the official inheritance probate court hearing finally arrived. Julian walked into the grand courtroom wearing a $1,000 suit, surrounded by a team of 6 elite defense lawyers. My mother walked beside him, holding his arm proudly, looking at the relatives with an air of superiority. When Julian saw me sitting at the defense table, completely alone, with no lawyer by my side, he smirked. He walked past me, leaned down, and whispered maliciously into my ear. "You shouldn't have even shown up, Elias," he whispered, laughing quietly. "The judge presiding over this case is a close friend of my primary business partner. This asset transfer is getting approved in 10 minutes, and you will be legally barred from ever stepping foot near my property again. Go back to the gutter where you belong." The judge entered the courtroom and banged his gavel, calling the case to order. Julian's lead attorney stood up, smiling confidently as he presented the forged will to the court. "Your Honor," the attorney announced proudly. The late Arthur Vance clearly designated his eldest son, Julian, as the sole heir to his entire estate. The younger son, Elias, has filed a frivolous objection, but as you can see, he has no legal standing, no representation, and absolutely no evidence. The judge looked down at me coldly over his glasses. "Elias Vance, do you have any legal counsel or any formal evidence to present before I finalize this asset transfer order?" I stood up slowly, adjusting my jacket, looking straight into Julian's arrogant, smiling eyes. "Yes, Your Honor," I said, my voice echoing with absolute authority through the silent room. "I would like to request an immediate change of jurisdiction and charge. This is no longer a civil dispute over an inheritance. This is a criminal execution." Julian chuckled softly, shaking his head and whispering to his lawyer about how pathetic I was. But his smile instantly died when the heavy double doors at the back of the courtroom burst open. 2 high-ranking state police detectives walked down the center aisle, followed by a federal prosecutor carrying a thick black briefcase. Julian's lead attorney jumped to his feet, objecting loudly at the top of his lungs. "Your Honor, what is the meaning of this interruption? This is a private civil hearing." The federal prosecutor stepped up to the bench, bypassing the defense team entirely, and handed a stack of sealed documents to the judge. "Your Honor," the prosecutor announced, his voice booming like thunder through the courtroom. "We are here to serve an emergency arrest warrant issued by the state Supreme Court. The state is officially charging Julian Vance with first-degree murder, grand larceny, witness tampering, and corporate financial fraud." The entire courtroom erupted into absolute chaos. My mother gasped, clutching her chest as she stared at the flashing badges of the detectives. Julian stumbled backward against his mahogany table, his face turning a ghostly shade of white as his expensive lawyers looked at the documents and immediately took a step away from him. The trap had finally snapped shut, and the golden child was looking into the eyes of his own destruction. Julian's face went completely pale as the handcuffs were slashed onto his wrists right in the middle of the courtroom. The golden child's perfect crime has completely unraveled, but the final, shocking truth is yet to be revealed. How will my mother react when she finally sees the video of her favorite son murdering her husband? And what is the ultimate fate waiting for Julian behind bars? The grand finale is up next, and the karma is going to hit harder than ever. If you are cheering for Elias and want to see absolute justice served, hit that like button right now. Make sure to subscribe to Littell's All and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss episode 4, the epic conclusion to this story. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the final episode